Previously, we studied about the DNA polymerase 1 function, which number one, it was adding more DNTPs in the elongation of the chain of the nucleotides or into the newly synthesized strands of DNA. Secondly, it was excising the mismatched nucleotides from the sequence. Here we are going to study about the um, functions of DNA polymerase 2 and polymerase 3. DNA polymerase 2 can function temporarily when DNA pol 1 and DNA pol 3 are not functional. It is still capable for doing synthesis on the damaged template also. It participates in the DNA repairing. And now comes the DNA pol 3. It is a heterodimeric enzyme composed of 10 different subunits. It has the highest polymerization activity and the true enzyme responsible for elongation of DNA strand. Here the comparison of all the DNA polymerases is shown. Their genes are shown in the pol A, pol B and pol C or DNA E in the form of genetic expression. You have to write them in the italic. Their main exonuclease activity, that is the proofreading, is present in the pol 1 and pol 2 as well as in the pol 3. While pol 2 and pol 3, they do not possess exonuclease activity in 5' to 3' direction. They can only DNA polymerase, it cannot excise or it provides the exonuclease activity in the 5' to 3'. Exonuclease function, what does it mean? 5' to 3' exonuclease activity cuts the primer, excise the mutated segment. Once the DNA elongates, the primer is later on cut off and sealed. And in the 3' to 5' exonuclease activity, that is against the direction of the synthesis of the chain, that excises only the mismatched nucleotides. It cannot remove the primer also. Releasing supercoil constraints. The supercoil constraints are generated ahead of the replication forks. When the replication fork is being formed, the supercoils they are being introduced inside the replication fork before that replication fork can further open. Here the role of topoisomerase is to bind to the double strand DNA region just before the replication forks to release the supercoil constraints. There are two types of supercoils. The negatively supercoiled DNA serves as a better template, while the positive supercoiled DNA that inhibits the replication or further formation of replication fork. Here the constraints are shown here. If you can imagine, you are opening a rope like this, and both the direction, the two strands of DNA, they are opened in this way. You can see when you are opening the strand, the whole of the turns, they are being supercoiled over the portion lying ahead of the replication fork. While if we can add negative supercoil in it, so to release these supercoils. Topoisomerase has the same function. Opening the double-stranded DNA will create supercoils ahead of the replication fork. The supercoil constraints needs to be released by topoisomerase. Here the topoisomerase, it is swirling around the DNA to be opened by the helicase, and it is removing the super constraints. There are two kinds of topoisomerases, topoisomerase 1 and topoisomerase 2. The interconversion of topoisomers of double-stranded DNA is catalyzed by topoisomerase in a three-step. First step, it cleaves one or both strands of the DNA. Passage of a segment of DNA through this break, resealing of the DNA break. Or you can say it cuts from the phosphodiester bond of one DNA, then rotates the broken portion and frees it from the other strand to relax the constraint and reseals the cut. Now comes the topoisomerase 2. It is named as gyrase in prokaryotes. It cuts phosphodiester bond on both strands of double-stranded DNA, and it cuts the both strands on the DNA by utilization of ATP, and after passing through these constraints, the broken ends, they are resealed, and then DNA gyrase or the topoisomerase 2 is released. It can change double-stranded DNA into negative supercoiled state with consumption of ATP. Remember always the positive supercoiling is inhibiting for the replication fork, while the negative supercoil, which is addition of a coiling against the supercoil, will cause the initial supercoiling done by any kind of supercoiling, or the opening of the strand will release it. Now comes the DNA ligase. This is the most humble enzyme which is only meant for the joining of the two strands. The two adjacent single-stranded DNA strands are joined, and how they are joining the 3' hydroxyl of the DNA and the 5' phosphate of another one. Here the DNA polymerase, first the RNase for the removal of the primer, then a DNA polymerase which is going to extend the chain from 5' to 3', and then comes the ligase which which adds up, or which binds the phosphodiester bond linkage to nick the seal, to seal the nick present inside the new synthesizing strand of DNA. This sealing of the nick in the process of replication, repairing, recombination and splicing. Wherever the replication or repairing of DNA is taking place, or recombinant DNA is formed, or the splicing of DNA is formed, ligase is there to seal these nicks.